It's great to have Mr. Starace because so much of the focus, of course, is on sustainability, and you've been talking about this for such a long time. Mr. Starace, I think my first question is really, what do you think the carbon price would need to be in order to achieve these net zero global emissions by 2050?
First of all, we have different carbon prices in different parts of the world, so we should have one to make this work. So first thing is try to harmonize different mechanisms.
Will we be able to do that?
Which is not easy. We failed to do that in Madrid. That was one of the reasons why the Madrid summit didn't work out. But let's assume we have one. It should be something between 20 and 40 euros. Translate that into dollars if you want, but it's more or less the same amount for the first years, and then progressively go up as more competitive thermal generation needs to be kicked out. So that's basically the price. And we have carbon prices around 20 euros today in Europe.
If you look at the global economy being transitioned off fossil fuels, do we have the technology to do that, or what new technology do we need to be able to do that transition?
We have technologies today that enable this transition up to a certain penetration of renewables. Let's say that we get up to 70, 80%. Past that, we want to decide whether we want to kick out the other 20% left.
Yeah.
And for that, we still need storage technologies, basically, that will enable us to use renewable energy produced in times that are not exactly the ones of consumptions. But that is something that is being studied and it's worked out. So I believe this will happen probably in the next 5 years.
And that technology coming from where?
It's basically battery technology coming from other segments of the industry, namely automotive. I think the automotive industry is today the industry that has the millions and millions of pieces that will drive this technology to economic levels.
So as we see more and more electric cars, how does that change your business?
Well, of course, we love electric cars. You know, we're an electric company. And it changes our business in two ways. Consumption on one side, but also the charging infrastructure that comes with electric cars and the ways in which you have to manage it. And an electric car is a battery on wheel for us. Right. And every time it's standing there, connected to the grid, it can provide services to the grid. And the owner of the car can recover some of the costs, some money. Yeah. We get some more, and the service is great. But
how do you power? I mean, the amount of power that's needed, right, to service electric cars is incredible.
It's large, but if you assume that the electric cars will come in large numbers in a period of 10 years, it's not at all a problem. It can be managed.
What can you do to reduce greenhouse gas emissions from natural gas midstream?
I think the only way to do that is to, first of all, work hard, and this is something that the oil and gas company need to do when they started doing that, work hard at cutting out the flaring. Yeah. That's what methane leaks that are all around. And second, work hard at reducing the amount of gas used for power generation and leave the gas to petrochemical and chemical applications.
But are they doing it? Are they doing it seriously, or is it just something that people talk about to look good at the moment?
Well, if you look at the declarations, they're all very committed in reducing methane leaks. It's just something in their control. It's something they can do. It's something they should have done maybe a little bit earlier. But I am no doubt that they can actually do it technologically wise. It's totally possible.
Mr. Starace, what's your take on this new Green Deal in Europe? So there's been a lot of critics saying, look, it's just not enough new money.
First of all, I think it is the right time to do it. It is time for Europe to step in, and Europe can have this leadership. The money that Europe has set aside is to be considered on top of the market money. So finance is already more than willing to invest in green technologies. So I'm not looking at the Green Deal just on the money that Europe has put in there, but take that money and put it on top of the large amount of money that is waiting for green investment opportunities. I have no doubt that money is there. So it's not money the problem.
All right. The problem is where...
The problem is perhaps the just transition money. That's a little bit more tricky. So the money set aside to manage those industrial sectors that suffer from the green transition. Coal, internal combustion engine, and others. So what to do with these people, what to do with this industrial sector. And I think it's very wise that this Commission has targeted a large amount of money to use in that. And that's money that I think Europe should use.